Looks like I'm live. Welcome to our May 2024 streaming. Professor Matthews learning about movies on YouTube. I am all over the place as well. Over here to my, am I doing this right? Some direction, right or left. On the screen, this is my Substack letterbox. We're going to talk about movies you can watch this month that are maybe leaving the streaming services. Good movies coming out of the theaters. Let's go. Let's have some fun. As always, this channel and streaming service is sponsored by nobody. No, it's sponsored by the color green. You know, I'm wearing green today. People say my color is green, and I respond, "It's not easy being green." Oh, I guess this stream is sponsored by Sophocles. When you need your Greek tragedy fix. So, yeah, I don't have any sponsors. I've tried. I get ghosted. I don't know why. Probably my marketing pitch is terrible, but also the world behind the scenes of YouTube sponsorship deals. It's like 95% fake. That's at least my experience. I get so much spam and junk. But let's talk about you in the movies. Now, my Substack over here, this is the most recent one I just did about an hour ago. How to Fix Hollywood's Movie Problem. Tanking stock prices, tanking box office, receipts for movie theaters. I just wrote this from my normie perspective. It's been brewing my head for about a year. Like 3 things you could do to fix the movie problem. Some of you have heard me say these things before, like bring back movie stars, in particular young movie stars. But Substack, please sign up for that. It's just mostly for free. And I write over there. I'll do a movie review this weekend of the new Planet of the Apes. And I've got Letterboxd, of course. Those of you who are on that site know it. I just write for myself there to remind myself of my movie viewing experiences. And recently I've been watching newer movies. If you can see them on there. Zone of Interest, American Fiction, Poor Things. These movies came out last year. You can see what you see. Oh, and my wife made us watch Sabrina. God bless my wife. She likes that movie with Harrison Ford in it. Julia Ormond. I can't hardly stand it. I don't like anything about it. The cinematography and so on. So Sabrina, whatever. If you need a romantic comedy fix, that's not the place to go. Right? So let's just quickly, what's coming out in the theaters. I do not promote them. I do not get anything from them. There always look like there are a lot of movies. I can't remember the name of this site. I'd have to go to the top to look at it. Let's just do that. Firstshowing.net. I like them. They show a lot of movies coming out. And you know, most of these I think are made by algorithms for certain demographics to make clicks on streaming services. That's how cynical I am now. There was The Fall Guy this weekend. Did anyone go to that? I should have, because that's the kind of movie they made like 10 of them a year when I was a kid, or it felt like they did make that many. Most of them were not great, not memorable, but I wish they could make more movies like that. Of course, I do know it's a TV show remake, but it has movie stars in it doing cool movie star stuff like action adventure. At least that's what the trailer showed. So I didn't go to it. Probably should have. I didn't see that anybody cared that I didn't go, though. But Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes comes out. Now, I am an Apes fan. The last trilogy I thought was pretty good. I especially like the first 2 movies in it. The third movie I need to rewatch. But at least it was kind of sort of middle brow blockbuster fare that was kind of thoughtful. I thought it was decently done. I enjoyed it. I really like the first movie for entertainment purposes, which I did a whole video on. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I think is the name of it. This one, I have no idea what this is about. And my big problem with it, another Hollywood weirdo big problem, is this is 166 minutes long. Like, oh my goodness. How long is this? Oh, I have no idea why. Why, oh, why is this so long? I mean, do I need 166 minutes of apes? I just need 110 minutes. That's enough. Let's do a basic 3-act script with this thing and not have it drag on with endless dialogue scenes. So there you go. By the way, can you all hear me? Technology. Yeah, so, okay, finally someone shows up in the chat. I couldn't tell. I should always check the tech. I always have a tech problem way before this. But yeah, this is so long. Am I going to be able to sit there through this and not check my phone? That's the problem of 80% of the audience. Like, are they going to be more invested in this long, long, long movie than their phones? I doubt it. Well, we'll see. I have no idea what the plot of this could be. I thought that humans were basically kind of down to the bare minimum as they would be in the very first Planet of the Apes movie when there's like 10 primitive humans are left. I have no idea what the plot tension here could be. Is it going to be apes versus apes? Is Charlton Heston going to show up at the end of this? I have no idea. Oh, well, I'm seeing advertisements for this movie. If John Krasinski is directing it, I think he wrote it. No idea what Back to Black is. And we have another Mad Max movie and the Garfield movie coming out in the same weekend. No idea what to go to. I just heard that George Miller has another Mad Max movie in the works. He's supposedly written a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. It's not Furiosa. It takes place a year before Mad Max Fury Road. He's old now. What is he, 75? Is he getting up to 80, George Miller? His last hurrah are these Mad Max movies. He's going to make three more of them. He made 3 in the 80s. Now he's going to make 3 in his old age. And rage against the dying of the light or the dying of the movies, George Miller. I'm a George Miller fan. Not a lot of promising stuff. This has been, I think we're getting hit by COVID. Although look at this, there's a lot of movies, but most of them are VOD and probably not for you or me, or not well done. I have no idea. We'll see later on. But I've complained about this. So many movies coming out that are like sequels to sequels. Inside Out 2, Bad Boys 4, Quiet Place, the third one, Despicable Me 4. Like, this summer looks... Twisters is based on the 1990s movie, another Wolverine movie. I thought he died. Spoiler. But another Deadpool movie. This looks pretty bad. I don't know what's going to happen here. This does not look good for movies. Someone needs to resurrect them. Hopefully one of these will be like Star Wars, Part 1, Episode 7. No, Episode 4. But maybe not. Whence the movies. You know, we got the whole of movie history to watch. So that's what you're up to. That's what I'm up to. At least some of you. Let's go to the Criterion Channel. You may or may not subscribe to it. I like it. I'm a charter subscriber. They kept it the same price. It's kind of amazing for a year subscription. I don't get sponsored by them. They ghost me, whatever, when I ask about that. But I like their stuff. So I am subscriber to Max and Criterion. Those are the two I am subscribing to right now, and I have been for a long time. I don't think I need another subscription service. Why would I? I don't know. 2 is enough. So Criterion, what's leaving, that's always helpful to me, and you'll see this, because they have some movies leaving that I need to watch. And I may never find them on streaming services. They may not be available on disc. So if it leaves the channel, I say this every time, it leaves a channel, maybe it's gone for a while. Maybe it's gone for years. You can't find it unless you want to pay for a disc or go to the library. So here, stuff's going to pop up on screen. I have not seen Ishtar. You know, Elaine May did Mikey and Nikki, great movie. Mikey and Nikki, great movie, but Ishtar got panned. I've talked about that in this channel, but it was absolutely trash. It's called one of the worst movies ever when it came out. I vividly remember that. Now it's like resurrected cult classic something. So I don't know. Maybe I should try it and see. I'm a little worried about it. It's kind of like Heaven's Gate here. You know, this thing that was total bomb at the box office, hated by critics, but it's been resurrected. And I don't know what the virtues of Ishtar are. But I'll tell you, American Movie is interesting. I don't think I rated that highly on Letterboxd, but let's get up here to the description. It's kind of a documentary about a guy trying to make a movie, and it really is more of a psychological depiction of these people, late 90s Wisconsin, and they're lower class, and they have bizarro dreams of trying to make a movie. The movie's obviously going to be terrible. It's a well-remembered movie. It's pretty interesting to look at. I would try it because It's about someone making a movie and someone who shouldn't be making a movie. So I suggest that. I can't remember my write-up on Letterboxd. That's why I write on Letterboxd, by the way, to remind myself of what the heck my viewing experience was. So I'm going to skip around here, although the commenters, who are always great, do such good jobs of recommending things I haven't seen, playing them up. I need to see Summer of Sam, which I have not seen. And there's a bunch of 1999 movies on here, which is considered to be at this point one of the greatest years ever. I'm a little dubious about that, but it's all fine as a nice gimmick, and I need to see some of these movies. I need to rewatch The Insider by Michael Mann. Haven't seen it since it came out. I'm going to put Clock Watchers on my list. The Virgin Suicides by Coppola, Sophia. Reservoir Dogs I watched recently. This is the one I'm going to recommend. You know, I don't have a lot of recommends today or right now, but 3:10 to Yuma. Classic Western, good movie about a man being kidnapped. This was remade, if you may remember, with Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. I don't remember liking that one, but I remember taking to this one quite well. I think if you want to watch an older 50s Western, you have 90 minutes. It's thoughtful. It's sort of on the Stockholm Syndrome, which I think is a gimmick for movies, but it's interesting nevertheless. You're captured, you're kidnapped, but you want to make friends and admire your captors. That's the part of the flavor of this movie. It's good enough to have been remade. I can't remember. I feel like Elmore Leonard was involved in this. Did he write this? Or did he just write books like this? My vague memory is he was involved, but I can't totally remember. Now, have any of you seen any of these other ones here? I've not seen this Prince movie. Your Name, people recommend that to me, the dubbed version. So there's some stuff here. It's okay. Boy, yeah, I went through this. There's not a lot leaving the channel, which is why I want to get to. You know, they've got a lot of good curated stuff here. So 1999, again, this is their sort of curated collection on 1999 movies. I saw Doug Liman's Go There. I haven't seen that. My goodness, there's so many movies to watch. Now, if you haven't seen Dave Lynch's The Straight Story, give it a whirl. It's not a typical Lynch movie. I'm glad he made it, though. You put it with Lost Highway, which I think is his previous movie, and you watch them back to back. That's a great sort of middle-aged man, old man, sort of back-to-back thing. It's not Lynchian in the sense it's super weird, hammy acting, but it's poignant. Disney put it out. It's rated G. It's about an old guy driving a tractor across the state of Iowa, which sounds stupid. It doesn't sound like much of a story, but it's pretty good. In fact, maybe great, arguably great. So I would try it. It's not your typical Lynch movie. Same with Bringing Out the Dead. It's an odd Scorsese movie. I wasn't in love with it, but it does have Nicolas Cage in it. Sort of a weird answer to Taxi Driver. If I remember correctly, he's driving this character's driving an ambulance around New York City. It's more like a character in Purgatory movie from Scorsese. Most of his movies are characters in hell. They're in some sort of hell, Casino, Goodfellas. But this one is more. I don't think it's more spiritual, but I think a lot of people would see it that way. So those two. Grill Interrupted, I'll put on the list. So maybe I should watch my... Right now, you may know I'm going through movies year by year. I'm in 1993. It's... the early 90s are okay, not that exciting. I'm more excited by the mid to late 90s, so maybe I should just jump into 99 and watch some of these. I don't know some of these. I haven't seen that one. Ghost Dog is okay, not my favorite. Jim Jarmusch. So the pronunciation police came along my channel and said it's Jarmish. Who cares? I don't know. But Ratcatcher is a fantastic movie, and I cannot remember right now if I did a video on that. I did a video on Lynn Ramsay, a Scottish director, I think, who has only made 3 or 4 or 5 movies. So it's easy to watch her filmography, but they're all very good, well done. And this one in particular is kind of Ken Loach-like kid growing up in mid-90s Scotland, I think. Don't quote me on that. Maybe it's in England, maybe it's in Scotland. And sort of down and out, poor people, vision of poor people. Very, very well done movie. I strongly recommend that. So of all these, 310 to Yuma, Ratcatcher, Straight Story. There you go. There's 3 weekends for you. Not the most peppy fare of all, but pretty good. And you can't go wrong, in my opinion. If you like this channel, you probably like most of these movies that we named. Some people like Following, Christopher Nolan's first movie, the only one they tend to get on Criterion. I wasn't a big fan of it. It did seem like a first effort. It's kind of film schoolish. I know he's not in film school. It just felt that way to me. I could be wrong, though. I probably should see it. Has anybody seen Trick? I do not know what that one is. I know nothing about that one. I think I've seen The Limey. But those are the 1999 movies. And definitely the Spike Lee revisionist thing of not the 1977. I need to see that. In fact, that's the problem with movies. So many say you need 5 lifetimes. Right? So I'm trying to be your guide here in telling you the Straight Story and Ratcatcher. Beau Travail, probably mispronounced that. It's only 90 minutes of your life. It is super high on the British Film Institute list, if you guys know that one. If not, a lot of critics, a lot of directors these days love it. I am not the biggest fan of it. I think it's very, very great, pretty pictures. The story is not as arresting as I would like. So to watch as an art house movie, it's got a weird, memorable ending. But I wouldn't recommend it as a casual view. If you think you're a cinephile, this one for sure is a must-watch. So I didn't mean to skip that. I'm just thinking most people I know probably would hate that movie. Right? Probably would hate it. I'm going to watch The Insider soon. I haven't seen that. I know it's gripping. I know critics love it. Should I watch The Limey? Anyway, I mean, these are good comments here. I'm going to get to them in just a minute. But that's... I'm going to pull up Max here, but that tends to be... The other thing I've been watching is some TV over on Max. Now, I will recommend one thing, because I watched it all the way through finally. It's the show How To with John Wilson, which I think is an amazing show. They're only 30-minute episodes. They're about New York. They're kind of documentaries, kind of memoirs. Simple videos that are like how to do something in New York, and he turns into this total digression, wonderful ruminations on a lot of different contemporary topics. How To with John Wilson, sitting there on Max. Great stuff. Yes, I did some TV show watching. So I watched, someone's asking me about True Detective. I watched Succession. Okay, decent show, pretty good. Has some decent stuff in it. Went on too long for me. Then I got back into True Detective, and it was like, oh, this is how to make a TV show with cinematography and sound. But then season 3 went nowhere. So no, I'm probably stopping at season 3, episode 5, because season 3 goes nowhere. It like has one thing happen in it, and then there's nothing. And then it's like if what's the David Fincher movie? Zodiac. It's like if Zodiac were 5 hours long. It's just like too long. So those are my TV watching right now. I'm trying to take advantage of my Max subscription. But Max has A24 movies, and I did appreciate several that I looked at. If I type in A24 and Max, I really liked 8th Grade. I do like Dream Scenario, and I really liked Mid-90s. So I would recommend those. Check out my stuff on Letterboxd. They have a bunch. I'm skipping over some here that I've seen. But they seem to bring things on and put things off. I thought they would put the whole A24 catalog on there. They have not done that. At least if this search is accurate, they've only put about 20 on there. So it's up to you to figure out what you want to watch. I'm probably going to watch this Under the Silver Lake, which looks interesting. So there you go. A24 on Max, can't beat it. Has a lot of good stuff. That's usually good fare. So, and they have live sports. what is going on with this? Anyway, I need to look at that. So those are my recommendations for this month. There's not a lot, but there's enough if you're going to watch 4 movies. I don't think you can go wrong. Anybody see The Fall Guy? I did not look up. Just for kicks, Oh, I don't have a search bar. Let's put in Fall Guy. Rotten Tomatoes, whatever. I don't trust it. I don't believe it. It is either rigged or the scores are just wrong because they're incorrectly reading the reviews and pulling an thumbs up, thumbs down. 83%. 87%. I should have done it because then I would have got some YouTube hits. But yeah, I don't know if this is accurate. A lot of people like this movie, huh? Wonder why. Probably the charm of Gosling, Emily Blunt. Would be my first guess, but I don't know. All right, so there you go. Maybe this is decent. I'll have to put it on the watch list. Have you seen any good 2024 movies? I've not dived. I've not gotten into them. I do not know enough. I do not get streamers. Maybe they'll send them to me one day. But we'll end on this little letterbox profile, which has my 4 favorites, which aren't really my 4 favorites. Those are just recent movies I've really liked. So I hope this is helpful. Who knows? I just enjoy talking. Sponsored by, one other thing. I do take notes. So people ask if I take notes during movies. This is my Poor Things. These are my Poor Things notes. I have no idea what this says. No absolute clue. The reason I take notes is because if I write it down, I will remember it. If I don't write it down, I have a 70% chance of forgetting what I'm thinking during a movie. So if I write it down, I have a 100% chance. It's very weird. I don't understand that. I almost never refer to these notes after I watch a movie. It's already there in my head. But sometimes it's helpful. Like if I'm going to thoroughly investigate a movie, I will write down timestamps so that I can go back and use them in editing videos or just to look at them again or hear quotes. So that's one thing that is helpful to write down. But other than that, I do like taking notes. It is part of the job, the hobby here, but it's helpful for me to absorb and remember things. Would that help you? I have no idea. So there you go. 163 minutes for Planet of the Apes. Fraser Dad's Chair says, do the apes evolve in real time? They did in the first movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. They actually did evolve. Oh my goodness. I mean, they went from being apes to 200 IQ type people. So I like this, the notion. I've been noticing theaters reshowing old movies more and more. Anybody else notice it? Yes, supposedly this has to do with COVID, the lack of releases, the desire to get more releases or more money from things, selling popcorn, whatnot. I think that's the strategy. I have not been to any of the re-releases. I do not know why people... What would be the appeal to nostalgia, to see things on a big screen? But, I got a big screen here. I got another one at home. I know it's not like a movie screen, but it ain't bad. That's what I wrote about in my Substack article. The question is, what do movies offer people that's a scarce resource? Basic economics. Like, it's scarce. The only way to get it is to go to the theater. Not really. I know people have 120-inch screens. My TV is not large at home, but I have a couple big, nice-looking screens. I can sit close enough to them. It feels pretty big. I bet most of you can do that. The TVs at Costco or wherever you're going to buy a TV are not too expensive. That's not the scarce resource. To me, the scarce resource is the people in the movies. You get scarce resource seeing Taylor Swift's concert. That's why you go to the movie theater, because that's the only place to see it in the movie theater. And see great-looking movie stars or certain kind of movie stars. That's Hollywood's scarce resource. They are not paying attention to that. I have no clue why not. Anyway, that's part of my Substack article. Who knows if I'm right, but there you go. Conformist by Bertolucci. I did review that, didn't I? Or at least I wrote up something on it. I sort of remember I did, but maybe not. Friedkin Sorcerer. I hated that movie. Why? Probably because I miswatched it, or because I don't know. It was a little over the top. It was kind of didn't make sense. I'm not really remembering why. Honestly, a lot of people love that movie. I should probably rewatch it. It doesn't have Tangerine Dream as a score. If so, I'll probably just listen to it. I put it in the background. Maybe I'll rewatch it. I just didn't like it when I saw it, which was a couple years ago. Yeah. Evan. I did watch Seconds. Look, I have a different science fiction taste than everybody. I think the Civil War movie is a classic example. In fact, Civil War, which just came out in the theater a couple weeks ago, I have people writing to me saying Civil War is not science fiction. It's not science fiction. To which I say, it's set in the future. Under what definition of science fiction are you operating? Every single one I've ever seen, when the story is set in the future, we'll call it science fiction. So I'm confused by people who are watching it that way. Second, there's a lot of ways to watch science fiction as if it. One of them is to have it offer better thinking to people. You think in hypotheticals, you think in what-if scenarios, you think in speculative scenarios, and your mind gets going on, if this thing grows, if this trend grows, or if this new thing comes along, what's going to happen to change a variety of things? So one reason I did kind of like Poor Things is the Poor Things, the movie that came out, Emma Stone won an Oscar for. It did have, it's a classic scenario, okay, but it maybe rethink it, which is, what if you could resurrect somebody, put a brain in their body, and basically make a new person, but kind of sort of do the live forever thing. Just keep putting organs into people. And that movie does have a what-if scenario on that basis. And you can, even maybe terrible you, too much sex in it, who knows what, but it has this element of better thinking in it. I did not find that Civil War had that. I found that Civil War was pedestrian or trite on the war is terrible front, which is a message I like, the number one message, maybe one of the top 5, I appreciate. But journalism during war has been done. And I don't know that that movie really carved out much new territory there. So, Civil War, what's the better thinking there? And actually, the Cinema Sins list of problems in Civil War is very long. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean by the ending. I don't know how many people could think the president's plan at the end of Civil War was that. Like, is he an idiot? Is the screenwriter an idiot? It didn't make. There is no scenario and no universe and no IQ or knowledge base that could justify anything that the president did at the end of that movie. So that's what, better thinking, no, worse thinking. I felt dumb watching Civil War. That was one of the reasons I said I hated it, among other things. So with Seconds, to which you're alluding to John Frankenheimer's Seconds, I think, correct? I think there are certain science fiction movies that have, to a degree, good aesthetics, but not so great better thinking. Okay, so and the trouble may be the classic conflict between aesthetics and narrative, aesthetics and connection to real world topics. And so if you're watching a movie just for aesthetics, the beauty of it, the cinematography, the sound, performances, that is a classic and common way to watch a movie. It's far from the only way a movie should be watched. So when I trash a movie, it usually it has to do with the movie makes me feel dumber, not because I'm judging it aesthetically, but because usually it has to do with the narrative. So I'm trying to look up my review on this, which is pretty bad. Gosh, why do I do this? I forget. Oh, I click on that. That's right. Yes, my first sentence here, again, Letterboxd helps me remind myself of my viewing experience. And it's like taking notes. Once I start to read this, I go, oh yeah, I remember watching this movie. So if you have, and I think there's a lot of movies like this. I think Poor Things was one, where if you haven't seen a lot of movies and you're young, it could make a real good impression on you. As if you think, this is the first movie I've seen that does this. That's amazing. I've never seen anything like this. And I can understand that reaction entirely. I have a problem now as I've watched too many things and I'm too old. So I start to compare these newer things or things I've never seen before to other things. And that in that comparison game is one reason I give the ratings I do, because I think one movie like this, it doesn't do it as well as this other one, or 5 of these other ones, or this other one, this TV show. So seconds, Twilight Zone, you got to read Philip K. Dick. All of his books, you got to read a lot of books like that. And then you might go, and that's what I did. I'm like, seconds, this is a little slow. It's taking this premise in a basic way, and so on and so forth. So I am not trashing or undermining your viewing of seconds. I think there are ways to see it that are great and are helpful. And if you've never seen much like it, or if it makes you think through a possibility, great. Okay, so you maybe you've not thought through that possibility before. So I watched it as a wrong man plot. And I think a lot of science fiction movies are poor for this. They're longer versions of a Twilight Zone episode or a Black Mirror episode. So there you go. And it's great that you like the movie. I mean, it's fantastic. If you can get something from a movie that I don't, great. I have a theory. I'm playing around with it in my head. It's probably totally wrong, but all movies are great. Right? It makes no sense because great is a relative term. You have to compare one thing to another. If everything's great, nothing's great. Okay, I get that. But it is true I've learned more from bad movies or from terrible movies than probably any other movie experience. The worst movies have literally taught me how to watch movies better. And so I think, well, wasn't that there's some good in that? I mean, if it's that bad and it taught me a lot, maybe it's actually good. Right? So and I was sitting there with I said this in my review of Sabrina, 1995 Sabrina. We're sitting there last night. My wife absolutely loves this movie. Harrison Ford, blah blah blah, right? Remake. And my kid is sitting there with my wife's phone, taking pictures of the movie screen, and then doing all this crazy photo art on the phone with his, and he was making like horror movie pictures or stills or images of Sabrina. It was just funny, but it was creative. And I thought, if I hate Sabrina, it offers a chance for him to do this, have fun, exercise some creativity. Doesn't that make Sabrina a good movie? Right? I'm not willing to go that far yet, but I have that thought occasionally. All movies are good or great because of how they could be used. I've seen Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Those are worth watching. Those are in my top 10 TV shows ever. Yeah. Probably should make a list of those. I did on that on Substack, sort of, but how would I rank them? I'm going to get to 6 Feet Under too. It's on my list. I'm just going to wait till school starts up again in the fall. It's like one of my top. I haven't seen it yet as a TV show. Oh man. Oh good. Under the Silver Lake has a lot of pension in it. Yeah, good. Sorcerer uses Keith Jarrett. All right. Now you're making me rewatch Sorcerer. I'm not the biggest fan of some Freakin' stuff, but I'm a big fan of other stuff. So watch Sorcerer. By the way, since you're all here so late into this live stream, I mean, you guys have endured me forever. Here's a giant question for you. I'm going to take requests. What do you want me to make videos of? Now, what individual movies? So I do a lot of these individual movies. It's really good for searching. It's really good for nutshell stuff, quick analysis, quick summary. So make a video of Alien, make a video of... I know I'm going to make one on Terminator 2, but what do you want me to make a video of? Now, I'm not going to do exactly what you tell me to do. I'm just looking at the request line here. So I'm right in my sweet spot season, May to June, for making a lot of videos. I make them in batches, release them over the course of a year. So I'll probably make 30 videos, 20 to 30 videos in the next month to 2 months. And I'm looking for individual movie ideas. I've got a long list, but why don't you go ahead and tell me what you want me to make? And I will I will do it. Civil War is alternate present. Is it? I don't know. I thought it was the future. I mean, you're probably right. That's probably why the weapons weren't high tech. I also feel like it's alt past. Like, where were the cell phones in that movie? That's one of my complaints about it. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should watch it in that way, or think of it in that way. I just assumed it was future tense because of all the news media ridiculous talk about Civil War in the near future. So you're probably right. Yeah, the train is okay. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay, a video idea. Top 10 worst movies I've sat through. Or worst movie theater experiences, which I have mentioned a little bit on my Discord channel, which I didn't promote, but check me out at Discord. There's a lot of cool people over there. Watch a lot of things. If you like Discord. Top 10 worst movies. Worst movie experiences. Something like that. I got to do it in such a way as I don't trash people. But I think that could work. I actually like that. I never thought of that. I bet people do that on YouTube. I'm writing this down. It's great. I love this. Yes. Al-Hazard. I can't pronounce anything. Al-Hazard Balthazar. That's not how to pronounce that. The donkey movie. You should look up what Ingmar Bergman says about that donkey movie. I think it's Bergman, who was pretty upset with it. Was it him? Dang. There's a couple of directors who trashed that one, too. I wrote a big thing about that. I can't find empathy for a donkey that much. I mean, I feel for us as a creature. That's a creature in pain, but other than that, I take the Herzogian view. I stare into the face of an animal. I have no idea what's going on in its head, but it's probably that probably has no empathy for me and probably would eat me for lunch if it were big enough. That's kind of the way I look at my cats. My cats were 10 times their size. They'd probably eat me. As it is, they're charming because they want food and warmth. I like my cats too, by the way. I don't blame them for this, but they probably eat me. So I don't know about a donkey movie. And there's the other one that came out. It was an EO a couple years ago. I didn't see that one either. Yeah, Severance is a show. I have my colleagues recommend that. That's science fiction, isn't it? And Shogun. Did you like the new Shogun? Couldn't tell. The ads didn't look so... Ads look kind of... Yeah. EO is what we're seeing. Okay, yeah. Phantom Menace. So the original Star Wars trilogy, I did not see in theaters until it was re-released. I was too young. The second one, which is episodes 1 through 3, I definitely did see in theaters. And I can tell you, okay, I'll write this down. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, I wouldn't call it one of the worst movie experiences ever, because what happens is a couple of my friends from high school went with me, and about 20 minutes in, we just started mocking the movie. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, I can't believe this was the way this was written. I can't believe this is what they thought was an entertaining movie. Now, since then, I've come to sort of appreciate it a little bit. Watching it with little kids, they don't look too hard at the the faux bureaucracy C-SPAN talk that is laced throughout that movie. The last hour of that movie is pure battle, and it's kind of fun watching it with a little kid. I say that with my own kids, at least. So I don't know that Attack of the Clones makes the worst movie experience list, but and specifically because we made fun of it, which, you can just turn, and especially science fiction, which is great with this. You can just turn on a movie that you're taking serious and like, this isn't serious at all. This is so stupid and corny. You start making fun of it, and it's fun to do that, in my opinion. The movies I hate, yeah, I shouldn't. The trouble with making a list or video of movies I hate that other people like is it's inviting so many trolls. Like, YouTube, site of trolls galore, trolls and terrible people. I'm inviting so many people. Like, when I mock the movie that they love, they will, yeah. I mean, I think we all have movies the list of great movies, and we watch these movies like, why is that great? That seems stupid. You're an individual, an eccentric, idiosyncratic individual, which you should be, by disliking intensely at least a few classic movies. Which ones? Don't know, but you should, because you can't appreciate every movie that the crowd or the masses or the critics like. Anyway, a lot of retracted messages. What is going on here? Oh, I have no idea. Make videos mocking bad movies. I know it's a gimmick. I actually like to do the positive thing. I realize that actually the best videos I will ever make, viral video-wise, are the negative kinds. I try to stay away from that, though, because it's easy to do. It's easy to destroy something. It's hard to build up. Much harder. So that's why I try to be positive. I try to help others out and promote things that I like. So, yeah. I mean, which bad movies to mock? I don't know. Because once again, I can, as I'm saying in this live stream, rescue a bunch of movies so they're good even though they were terrible. Right? All right. What am I reading? Well, as I said, getting into this, I have to study it for a class next semester in the fall. Lucius Shepard's Life During Wartime. It's a science fiction book. I've never read it. 80 pages in, pretty good. I have a stack. I literally can't go in a bookstore anymore because if I buy another book, it'll just rot after I die. There's no way. I have too many books to read for the rest of my life. Probably that same with movies. So I don't know. I have a whole reading list. I said this on Substack. Here's what I'm going to do this summer. So we'll see what I get to. With some science fiction, some 20th century stuff, because that's not my wheelhouse, the 20th century stuff. I don't remember seeing Sabrina in 1954 either. Isn't it pretty good? My memory is that it is. The question is, Sabrina in 1954 creepy? Because Bogart is 30 years older than Audrey Hepburn. And would that strike people as creepy now? Is that premise creepy? Do any Hallmark movies, this is how you would know. Do any Hallmark movies have much older guy, sort of good looking, probably wealthy, almost certainly wealthy, hooking up with, marrying younger 20s, 30s female? I don't know. I need to ask my students who seem to know Hallmark movies pretty well thanks to their moms. Does that have any appeal, or is that kind of creepy? My sense is it's either same age or younger guy. And so I wonder if the really old guy hooking up with, marrying younger girl is a thing anymore. I don't remember. I don't know. Off my top of my head, I maybe not. It might still have some universal appeal, but maybe this isn't the day or age for that. So, Roger Moore. Yeah, you're right. Man, this has been fun. I actually enjoy this a lot. I should do this like every week, but time doesn't allow for it. So check out my stuff. I did some podcasts recently. You can go on the YouTube comments page. I announce it in Substack. Check it out. But thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate anybody who's chatted here. It's always fun interacting. This is like a fun class to teach. I know it's an Ask Me Anything, and we don't really teach much, but go check out my videos for some teaching. Nevertheless, it's good interaction, and my Discord does have good information on it. I keep it pretty clean. It's not crazy. There's not a lot of trolls or crazy stuff going on there, I think, at least to my knowledge. So you can check out Discord too. Hope you all have a great month, great viewing month. Let me know what you watched. See you later.